Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bakes here, and thank you for joining me for day number 5 of my 31 Days of Horror. This is where I'm watching and reviewing 31 horror movies over 31 days, all through the month of October till we get to Halloween. Like I said, today is day number 5, and today's movie is one that I'm super excited to talk about because I've always kind of felt like this is a movie that I've undersold how much I really enjoy it. And honestly, there hasn't been too many occasions where I've been able to bring it up, so I'm happy that I'm covering this movie today. It is from 1988, and it is Killer Klowns from Outer Space. First of all, 1988, one of my favourite years for horror ever. I think it's no secret that I love the 80s as a decade for horror. Like, everybody loves the 80s, that's a stupid thing to say, but 1988, just so many of my favourite horror movies from this year, and like I said, Killer Klowns from Outer Space is one that unfortunately I haven't really spoken about much on my channel, so super excited to talk about it today. It's a cult classic, a beloved fan favourite of the genre. It's like the prime example for those who don't know this movie. If you looked at the cover, heard the title, heard the synopsis, which is pretty much the title, you would have expectations for it. But the movie is known for being way better than you would ever expect. This movie's just so much fun, great time. So let's get into Killer Klowns from Outer Space. First of all, going through the plot of it. And again, you've pretty much gathered it just from hearing the title. But a UFO that is shaped like a circus tent lands on Earth. And out come these aliens that just happen to look like these giant grotesque clowns. And I say giant, some of them are big, some of them are small. They all have different looks and styles. They have a range of different abilities and whatever, and they've come to Earth to take over and put people in cotton candy cocoons and drink their blood and eat them, essentially. And that's pretty much the plot there, this small town being taken over by these killer clowns from outer space. You've pretty much got the plot there. Like I said, super excited to talk about this movie because don't get me wrong, I've brought it up a couple times on my channel and whatever, but again, I feel like I've always undersold how much I really like this movie. Like, I'll pull it off the shelf and say, yeah, it's not bad, other people like it more than me, and I still think that's the case. But I just wish over time, I just let my love for this movie show a little bit more. And we'll get into that as I go further into the review. But super excited to talk about Killer Klowns from Outer Space from the year 1988. Great original theme song as well. I miss when horror movies had original theme songs. Ghostbusters is probably the best example. You have the original Blob movie with the theme there, beware of the blob, it eats and whatever. The Killer Klowns theme song, top notch as well. So let's get into my thoughts of 1988's Killer Klowns from Outer Space. I know that I've already brought this up so many times, and I'm going to try and make this the last time I bring it up in today's review, but again, I wish I really didn't undersell for the longest time how much I love this movie. I'm not going to say that it's a top 10 film for me of all time, but definitely in the top 25, 30. And when you've seen as many horror movies as I have and been watching horror for as long as you have, saying top 30, 25 is definitely a very high compliment. And this has been a movie that I've enjoyed for a very, very long time. But again, like I was saying before, it's always just kind of been in passing. I bring it up and just briefly say, yeah, it's an enjoyable movie. Maybe don't enjoy it as much as other people, yada yada. And I just sort of move on. But yeah, every time I watch this movie, I get so much enjoyment from it. I reckon it grows on me every time as well. The first time I saw this movie, to be completely honest, I enjoyed it very much, but didn't quite get the hype. There was a few negatives that stood out more back then compared to now, and I guess we'll get into them, but this movie is genuinely fantastic to me, and I'm super excited to talk about it. Again, I was going to try and make that the last time I bring it up in today's review. Let's see how well I do. So where to start? With the cast of characters in this one. The 80s. What a time to be alive. Back when a 30-something-year-old could play teenagers. And in my mind, this is the movie that comes to my head when you have people that are clearly adults playing teenagers. It's just funny, and Killer Klowns from Outer Space is the prime example, like I said, that comes to me when people bring that up. The three cast of characters that I always imagine is one of our leads, Mike, and then the Terenzi brothers, Rich and Paul. And honestly, those three characters were some of my biggest negatives the first few times I watched this movie. I used to not like them at all. Mike was okay, but the Terenzi brothers, they fucking sucked to me back in the day. Like, they were my least favorite part about this movie. I just didn't find them funny. I found them off-putting. I think the fact, again, that they looked so old but were meant to be, like, teenagers or whatever, like, that threw me off as well. They've grown on me. Everyone fucking loves them. Like, again, this is a cult classic film. Such a fan favorite for so many people, and everyone loves Mike and the Terenzi brothers. But those three characters back in the day used to annoy me. They've grown on me over time now, so not too big of an issue. I think another big thing that stuck out about those characters to me that used to make me not like them is because not only were they such big fan favorites and I just expected to like them straight away and I didn't, but also the fact that, like, in the world of the movie, Mike is like, oh, the Terenzi brothers are the best. They're the funniest people I know. And then they're just not. Like, that's a small nitpick. I'm just going to move on from that because that's something I've, moved on from over time. But that was a negative back in the day. I really like Debbie. Debbie is Mike's love interest. I forget who she's played by, but she's awesome and she's fucking hot as well. Stunning. She's absolutely gorgeous in this movie. I forget the actress's name. She was also in Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Night of the Creeps, obviously, but I forget the actress's name. But she's incredible in this movie. She's stunning. I also really like the cop who is, in the story, Debbie's ex-boyfriend. I feel like if Debbie and the ex-cop were the two leads of this movie, it would pretty much be a 10 out of 10. Again, not saying that I dislike Mike or the Terenzi brothers. They've definitely grown on me massively over time. But I just much prefer Debbie and the cop as leads for this movie. I find them quite enjoyable. So moving on from talking about the human characters, because no one wants to hear me talk about them. I barely even want to talk about them. I want to talk about the clowns because they really are the show stealers in this movie. They're one of the best things about it, honestly. All the clowns are just super fucking awesome. For those people who haven't seen this movie, there's probably roughly, just off the top of my head, maybe 20-25 different clowns, and they all have different designs and body shapes and molds and outfits and personalities, things like that. But there's probably, again, just off the top of my head, in the main group of clowns, maybe 8 to 10. And they're the ones that get more prominent screen time than others. And I think over time they've been given their own names and everything as well. I can't remember them off the top of my head. But that's one thing that I wish there was more time to explore in this movie. Like, all of the clowns. I want to see all the designs. You know, there's so many shots where, you know, there's different clowns walking through the background or through the streets and whatever, and I'm just like, fuck, I want to see all of these designs because they're just so creative. Great designs. They're all so unique. As I said, different sizes and shapes and face molds, and each with their own personality and style, and each clown, alien, whatever you want to call them, is their own beast, and I just fucking love that about them. The creative ties between them being aliens and clowns and the circus-themed stuff, I think, is also so fucking cool and insanely creative. Like I said, the UFO that they come down in is a circus tent, and that happens in the first 5 minutes, and already you've got me fucking sold. They have these cotton candy guns that they shoot people with. They wrap up in these cotton candy cocoons, and that's how they eat them, and it's just so fucking cool. Like, you pull the cotton candy down and their face is all melted and blood red, and it's just so fucking awesome, and it's honestly, like, kind of nasty as well. You've got these popcorn guns that no matter how many times I've seen this movie, I still can't really figure out what the fuck they do. But either way, you've got these killer shadow puppets, acid pies, like, you name it that is, like, circus clown themed. They've got it, like, turning balloon dogs into real dogs. Like, it's just out of this world with the creativity. Honestly, like, on a creativity level, this could be the most creative horror movie of all time. Like, I'm sure someone was on drugs or higher when they wrote the script for this movie or thought of the idea for it. But man, did they make it creative as fuck, and that's something that you can't take points away for sure. And as fun and creative as this movie is, I just thought of it when I brought up the cotton candy cocoons. When this movie wants to be genuinely kind of creepy, it can pull it off really well. Like, there's one scene that comes to mind in the police station where he's on the opposite side of the room as the clown with the green hair, and the clown is massive, and it's just like pushing these desks aside, and I'm like, that's honestly fucking kind of creepy. The part out the front of the restaurant where the clown's on the I don't know, rockin' horse or whatever you want to call it, like kind of creepy. There's some creepy moments in here when they really feel like putting them out. They can deliver on that level. I guess also playing into that, and again with the cotton candy cocoons, the effects are really really good. Again, just going back to the clowns, they have like animatronics or puppetry in their face. I'm not sure exactly how they're doing it, but it's also people in suits. The effects there, awesome, and again their designs, just the molds and everything in general, smashed it out of the park. Good gore, solid body horror when it needs to do it as well. You know, like I said, you got these acid pies and people in cocoons, smashing it. Just so many times with this movie, you just can't help but smile. Like I said, it's one of my favorite comfort movies that I wish I brought up more. And I know I said I was going to stop bringing that up, but again, it's the epitome again of like judging a movie off its title or poster. If you're looking at that, you might go, what the fuck am I getting myself into? But it's just a great example of a movie that is so much better than you would expect. And it's not even just better on a level of like a comfort movie. Like, I genuinely can't imagine someone watching this from start to finish saying like, oh, I just wasted, I don't even know the runtime for this one. It feels like it goes by like that, 85 minutes. Like, I can't imagine someone going, oh, there's 85 minutes of my life I won't get back. Like, you can, I can't fathom no one finding enjoyment from this movie, at least on some level. I don't know what else I want to say. If I ever got a bloodhound, like the breed of dog bloodhound, I'm 100% naming it Winnie, or Winnie the Pooh. Like, its name's Pooh, not Winnie, which is crazy. But anyway, getting off topic, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I'm not even joking, it's a 9 out of 10. I fucking love this movie. And that's actually higher than what I like planned. Like, when I was coming in, like I sat down and I went, yeah, probably like an 8.5. Like, I'm convincing myself it needed to be higher. So Killer Clowns from Outer Space, day number 5 for my 31 Days of Horror, a 9 out of 10. If you have different thoughts on this movie, let me know in the comments below. Again, let me know if you're following along with the 30 Days of Horror, and I'll see you tomorrow for day number 6, sorry, which is Deep Red, if I remember correctly. Excited for that one. Alright, see you guys.